Okay, I think the moment you find yourself hiding something, you're cheating.
If you're having to delete pictures.
Delete. I'm not even talking about deleting. The minute you're worried about getting caught sending a text message, liking a picture, leaving a comment, because we do live in the world of social media, the moment you feel like,
ooh, should I be doing this?
Should I be doing this? Everybody's got that little, like, you know, and I think the moment you feel that, even if you haven't acted upon it, you're there.
Divorce is looked at such a negative thing, but you don't realize that you might actually gain a really good friend. And like you were saying, you don't want anything.
I wish
bad.
the world.
You wish
I wish
nothing
the world
bad
for
on
him. I wish the world.
And I
for
think
him.
that that's what's important. You don't really see that often. You always hear the negative things of divorce and not so much like, no, we're actually better off as friends.
As a parent, your goal should be just be someone that you want, like that your kid can look up to.
But I was 100% insecure. I questioned myself. I questioned my self-doubt. I like everything. I was like, I am nobody. You don't realize the damage that a simple word can do to someone's mindset.
Absolutely.
That when they think about, you know, when they're an adult, they can be like, I want to be like my dad. I want to be like my mom. I remember they did things this way and I want to continue that. And I think that's what I had growing up. And that's why I'm so like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm going to be fine because I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
All right, welcome to episode 2 of Primos, pero not really, where isn't that what I said?
You said primos.
We can be primos or primas, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome to our episode 2, where we are spilling tea, not tears, where we're healing out loud for you guys, one episode at a time. So, what are we talking about today, girls? We got the gifts of ugly truths. How do we feel about that?
Ooh.
They're the necessary evil.
Yep.
Right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Necessary evil.
And, you know, and when we talk about ugly truths, if you tuned into our last episode, our first episode, we talked about our marriages, and there were a lot of ugly truths that we found out or discovered during the course of that marriage. And so I think today we can dive into a little bit of what that means. And I think, and I know as we shared each other's stories, a lot of it was, oh my God, I'm not alone. Oh my God, that happened to me. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe in a different way, but it was the same result. And, you know, not everyone talks about mental and emotional abuse because you don't get bruises from that. Well, not a lot of people understand
sometimes
it.
feel like mental abuse is worse. I mean, hold on. I don't want to say worse because I don't want to minimize the physical, but I think because mental health is such a crazy thing right now, I feel like that's sometimes worse than physical.
And I think it goes under the radar.
Yes, absolutely.
Because there is like a bully aspect. There is a mental health. There is a, fine, I'm just going to go with this because this is what I need to do. Like there is a lot of stuff that goes under the radar when it comes to the mental health aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it goes with kind of like what I mentioned before is, you know, you don't get bruises. No one sees it, I guess is the best way to put it, right? No one sees.
But the mental health is harder to recover from because bruises go away.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You know, and it's, I think that for me, I think that that's the hardest part is the mental abuse. But a lot of people don't also talk about the financial abuse.
Oh, I experienced
so we
that.
have the mental, we have the physical, we have financial. I mean, there's so many types of ways of being abused that it's like,
you know, and then
people don't realize.
You know, and I know in some of our stories, there's, you know, infidelity. And that's definitely something people typically don't talk about, whether because it's cultural or it's the judgment of
or just being ashamed. Like,
pero
you
decided to stay.
Like, how did I let this happen to me?
Or it's like, you decided to stay?
Yeah.
Like,
but another thing too is that there's so many different types of cheating.
Oh.
Like, what do you guys consider cheating? Because I was in a situation, I was like, wait, to me, that feels like cheating, but I was being told otherwise.
Okay, I think the moment you find yourself hiding something, you're cheating.
If you're having to delete pictures.
Delete. I'm not even talking about deleting. The minute you're worried about getting caught sending a text message, liking a picture, leaving a comment, because we do live in the world of social media, the moment you feel like,
ooh, should I be doing this?
Should I be doing this? Everybody's got that little, like, you know, and I think the moment you feel that, even if you haven't acted upon it, you're there. You're there. You're knocking on that door. You're
like, you know, it's borderline inappropriate.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Absolutely.
Like, do you consider if your partner is texting another woman inappropriate things, that's cheating, right?
I think so. Absolutely.
Right?
Like,
Absolutely, 100%.
You would probably end a marriage or relationship if you found out your partner was doing this multiple times.
I'll do you one better.
Okay.
How would they take it if you did it? Would they consider it cheating? And I think they would. From my experiences, I can tell you that absolutely it would be like, oh, you just looked at somebody funny was an issue.
Yep.
So, do as I say, not as I do type of situation is what I was.
Yeah. And I think that comes down to any relationship, because if you are with someone that's like, oh, we're exclusive, we're not doing anything. It's like, okay, we're not in a relationship, but we're exclusive. Like you're going outside of our.
What does it mean to be exclusive?
Oh, that's another one, right?
What does it mean to be exclusive? And are we both being exclusive? Because that's a thing too.
That's a thing.
Sometimes.
And let me see. If someone tells me, hey, we're going to be exclusive, but yeah, you're still falling into someone's DMs.
That's not exclusivity.
That's not exclusive.
Exactly.
Because if if your partner finds out and you're having to defend yourself,
Yep.
That's not exclusive.
And and hand in hand with infidelity comes a layer of emotional abuse and mental abuse, because as you're questioning, you're being gaslit of like, oh, no, that's not reality.
You're
that's
crazy.
Not what you think.
You're crazy.
Exactly.
Why would I do that? I don't understand why you always
question.
Look
were
at
you
that.
with your? Wait, did your husband?
To my knowledge, my ex-husband did not cheat on me.
Okay, but you and I think are very similar in that. Where that was involved. And I feel like, did you feel like once because I was a stay-at-home mom, I did not work because, again, I got married and had my kids during COVID. So everything was shut down in Las Vegas. That's where I was during COVID. And I felt like I didn't have anything. So not only did I feel like I had to hold on tight, even though I knew my husband was doing other things, I felt like I lost myself. Because you're being a single, you're a solo mom. You don't have anything to fall back on because you've depended on your husband. So now you feel like we were going back. Yeah. Why did I stay? I stayed. I had no choice. I didn't have a living. I didn't have support. I didn't have this. I didn't, so.
Yeah, your family was here too.
So I will say, piggybacking off of that as well, there's this misconception that I've always felt is out there when they're like, oh, she stayed because she's weak. The hardest thing and the thing that took the most courage for me to do was to knowingly stay in my marriage,
knowing what was
knowing
happening.
everything that was going on, and saying, you know what? My parents were together. My grandparents were together. I mean, my grandparents are like that old school love. My grandparents were together since they were 16 years old.
Wow.
Okay. Passed away when they were in their 90s. Like, I mean, like old. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, my grandfather saw the world through my grandmother's eyes.
Wow.
My parents have been together 47 years. So again, that's all that I knew.
Yeah.
I wanted that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was willing to deal with the triggers, with the good, the bad, the ugly, because I wanted I was going to be the success story. I was going to be the one that we were going to work it out. We were going to figure it out. And eventually I would be enough.
Yeah. But you never felt like enough because you knew that there was.
I mean, how do you feel like you're enough when you know you're not the only one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's tough. That's a tough truth to look at yourself and be like, knowing your situation, because it wasn't like, oh, I didn't know. I knew. Yeah. I was very aware of the situation and being like, I'm going to stick it out. They're going to change. And it changed for a little bit, but then it would, things would go back. And
it's like a wave. It comes and goes. It goes up
and
down.
like the hamster wheel of insanity is what I would call it. It was just like, oh, it came back around. But then there was
triggers. And honestly, I always knew.
Yeah. You always notice the change of behavior, whether it's male or female, right? You start noticing they're going out at different times and things like that. So you would always notice. But it's interesting you mentioned the thing about like your grandparents and your parents and wanting to emulate that.
Absolutely.
For me, what I realized, my gift of the ugly truth from divorce was I realized or recognized the pattern of behavior in that I got married at 23. I had my first child at 25, my second at 30, and I was divorced by 38. My mother got married at 22, had her first child at 25, her second child at 29, and was divorced by 38.
Wow.
And my ex-husband, in the sense of the emotional exchange, that energetic exchange or whatever, it was a pattern very similar to my father. And so for me, it was realizing I was just trying to recreate this relationship with my father and fix it.
Yeah.
Through my ex-husband.
Because you married your husband. You married your father.
I married my father, basically. And so it was recognizing that pattern. And when I like laid it all out, this is where I say like therapy is a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
Therapy is a beautiful thing, especially if you find the right therapist. I'm a huge advocate for therapy. But it brought that pattern of behavior to my forefront in that I was trying to fix the relationship that I never had with my father. And it was like, understanding there's two separate relationships. It's never going to be what I want it to be. And, just kind of accepting that radical acceptance of this is what it is. He is who he is. And so, for me, that was a gift that I got from my divorce, is starting that journey of healing and recognizing patterns of behavior. And now it's, when I go out on a date or whatever, it's, ooh, you are way too much like, my ex-husband, or this is a behavior that I recognize that I am not really good with anymore. Been there, done that, got the trauma to prove it and the therapy bill to prove it. Like I'm good.
Yeah.
So, it's shitty when you go through it.
Yeah.
But, having those realizations is a great gift. It gives you that sight as you move forward into this really jacked up world of dating.
Yeah. It's crazy because for me, like my background, I was dancing my entire life. So and any relationship I was in was always with someone that was either in my industry, or it was always I wasn't sitting down trying to like figure someone out. I wasn't at that point. I was just like, I'm going to live my life. I'm going to dance. But when I realized the true definition and personality traits of a narcissist, that's when I was like, oh, wait, what's happening? I see it clearly. Oh, this is what gaslighting is. This is what manipulation. Because you don't realize that until you're in it. And then when you step out of your relationship, you're like, wait, this is what I put up with for so long. And that's when the mental abuse comes. That's when the physical, and then that's when you allow the cheating and all that, because you start second guessing yourself. Like there was so many. And listen, I had a great career. I should probably be nowhere near like insecure, but I was 100% insecure. I questioned myself. I questioned my self-doubt. I like everything. I was like, I am nobody. You don't realize the damage that a simple word can do to someone's mindset. And that was words that were coming time after time after time after time.
Now, I don't know if it happened with you guys. Like, as I said, in my marriage, to my knowledge, there was no infidelity. I never caught him being cheating or anything like that. It was more of, I would say, my truth is it was a lot of verbal abuse and emotional abuse. And whenever I would say like, hey, this is really like fucked up that you said that to me. And it's like, oh, well, you're just too sensitive. You're too sensitive. Or, that's just how I cope with X, Y, and Z.
But that doesn't make it okay.
I remember that for years, it was me going to therapy to see how can I deal with his stuff better. And I spent years in therapy and how can I be a better wife to him versus learning and gaining those tools to empower myself and things like that. And again, these are all things that I realized after my divorce. So for me, it was every time something would blow up, when the hamster wheel would come back around, it wasn't so much that his behavior would change. It was just changing in how it was being directed.
Yeah.
He would use, it was just a different method, if you will. But the underlying behavior was the same.
Yeah. And we just figure out how to deal with them.
Yeah.
You figure it out. Like I knew, okay, this is what's happening. I'm just going to go into the corner. I'm just going to mind my own business, because if I do say anything, it's going to explode.
And it's the devil I know how to handle that dysfunction.
Well, and there's a lot of that. I think that what she just said, like there's a lot of times, how many times did you not pick a fight? And it's not that you just didn't want to deal with all the other stuff that came after it, because you knew it wasn't going to change anything. You knew that you weren't going to change him. He wasn't going to change you. And you knew you weren't wrong. You knew you weren't crazy.
Yeah. I mean, there was
but
many times.
And I just thought of it as like, well, if I'm not ending this, then why am I going to keep pursuing? Like, why even bother with the argument if the end result is not going to be tú por tu lado y yo por el mío, then why are we even going back and forth? You know what?
That was something that my friend always told me.
You were at the gym. Okay.
Yeah. She's like,
okay.
you're always, because I'm very much the type of person that listens to my gut. If I feel like there's something, I know there's something. And something that was always said to me is, if you go looking for it, you're going to find it. Well, don't give me something to look for.
There you go.
Okay. But my thing was, there were so many times that I had a gut feeling that there was something going on. And I would check and I would find it. And then I'm like, you know what? It's not even worth the fight because I know I'm not leaving.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that
exactly.
And
it's like, why am I gonna fight?
And you're gonna torture yourself about it.
Oh yeah, because it's gonna ruin my day.
So at the end of the day, am I really? I'm not ignoring the problem. I know it's there.
It's there.
I'm just, you know what? We're gonna put a pin in it because I don't want to deal with it right now. I'm not gonna do anything about it. And the sad part is, you know, it's gonna happen again. I'm not gonna do anything about it. So and not that I can't do anything about it. Like we've talked about, I made the decision that I am gonna stay in my marriage. I'm gonna try to salvage, try to fix this. So then why am I gonna even bother with it?
Now, did you guys? I know in my experience in my marriage, I felt very alone because I chose, because I knew I wasn't going anywhere. I knew I was going to stay married. I wasn't leaving him, anything like that. I chose to not confide in my inner circle with the gory details of what was happening, right? So, which led to, once I pulled the plug, everybody being like, oh my God. But it was for that reason of, I'm like, I'm not leaving. So why am I going to badmouth him? Which then I have to go to family functions and people are going to be like, mirándole de lado. And so part of it was I felt so isolated and alone because, again, I wasn't confiding. Because to your point, it's like, why am I going to talk about it? And not only
confiding, I think at that moment you feel like, you do feel alone because you feel like, we go back to social media, everybody else's life looks so perfect. And you're like, fuck, man, my life is not perfect. Like, my life sucks right now. So you feel alone. You feel like nobody's going to understand you anyway. So it's kind of like, and at least for me, I have my one friend that she's my friend since we were in 6th grade. And she actually knew him since kindergarten.
Oh, wow.
So she was a mutual friend. And she did know everything. But I think I went to her because she was also his friend and she had the mentality more of, I'm going to stand behind you, whatever you want to do. I'm not going to judge you. This is your marriage and you know what you need to do. Whatever you decide, whenever you decide it, I'm going to support you. And that was pretty much it. But I did feel like nobody really understood because she didn't understand me. She wasn't dealing with what I was dealing with. And at some point, I just think of it as I don't want to keep telling everybody my problems because at some point they're going to be like, well, then fucking leave.
Yep, exactly.
Like, you're so miserable. Then
that was another
leave.
reason for
like,
me.
Why, don't either should or out the pot.
Yep.
Because if you're, and so then you're just kind of like, you know what? Let me just shut the fuck up because nobody cares. Everybody has problems. And that's kind of where I was. I'm like, everybody's got problems. You know what it is? We're going to figure it out. Yeah. Eventually, we're going to figure it out.
Yeah. Yep. And this is why I love this so much because I was the complete opposite. I spoke to every single, I spoke to the people that I know that were going to give me, they're going to tell me what I needed to hear because I was so blinded and brainwashed that I needed to hear people telling me what is happening right there is not okay. Because I was like, no, it's fine. It's fine.
You're like, I'm fine.
Everything's fine. I'm just crying. No, I was blinded. So for me, I have, my mom, my siblings. I have my best friend who was actually going through her own divorce, but we kind of came together and tried to, be there each other's support. I had my business partner at the time. I had my group of people that I know I could hear what I needed to hear and they opened up my eyes. And it was my two best friends that were like, girl, you are full blown with a narcissist. Like he is messing with your head. I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means.
I remember.
But even then, I wasn't in any type of denial.
Yeah.
Like I knew what I had at home and I knew what I was dealing with and I knew it wasn't fine, but going back to, I wasn't going to change anything. Yeah. So why, is it fine? No, it's not fine, pero.
Yeah. And that's, they would tell me that all the time. They're like, even my mom was like, if you're not going to change anything,
para.
Yeah.
Yep.
Enough.
Absolutely.
But because
you're making yourself look bad. You're not really making the other person look bad because you're making.
What would happen when we go to outings and he's there and I'm here venting to these people? They're like,
then why is he here?
What's going on?
Exactly.
What's going on?
And you're being affectionate and all that.
Even now, you know, I'm very much in the very beginning stages of this divorce. And even when, you know, he comes into town and we're doing things like he, you know, would come to either competition or whatever it is. There was people that are like, oh, I didn't even know you were getting divorced because he still pops up. I'm like, I'm just trying to keep it as normal as possible. But we are still...
You're navigating it. It's all new.
It's all very new.
And that's the relationship will, I think, it evolves. It changes.
Oh, yeah.
It changes.
Listen, I feel like, and I will say it, I've told my sisters this, I've told my mom this. I feel, and I've always said it, that me and my ex-husband, I think, are going to be better off as friends. We were friends for 2 years. We were best friends before we got together.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I really think, and I think that that's what's helping the process, because when I'm with him, it's like we're friends.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, I can't stand you. You did. No, it's not like that at all. And I think that that's what's important, and a lot of people don't talk about, because divorce is looked at such a negative thing, but you don't realize that you might actually gain a really good friend. And like you were saying, you don't want anything
I wish
bad.
the world.
You wish
I wish
nothing
the world
bad
for
on
him. I wish the world for him.
And I think that that's what's important. You don't really see that often. You always hear the negative things of divorce and not so much like, no, we're actually better off as friends and we co-parent amazing. And I really hope and pray, if there's the ones that are listening, if you can try and fight for that, fight for it.
You catch more bees with honey than you do with vinegar at the end of the day.
And there's too much negativity going on in the world. Like, if you know someone that deep, or you have kids and you were married, like the best thing that you can do for yourself is try and make it where you guys are friends.
You know, I had a friend since middle school, and her parents divorced. Her father cheated, ended up with the woman. But her mother handled it in such a classy way.
Yeah.
Because he ended up, you know, marrying the woman. They ended up having a daughter. And they're now all adults. We're all about the same age. But that daughter, for her, is her fourth daughter. Calls her mom. You know, she now, you know, the husband has since passed, but, you know, she and that woman that he had left her for, they go on like those Emmaus trips through the church. They go on vacations together. They do Thanksgivings together, because for her, it was, this is my children's sister. Ella no pinta nada en lo que estos dos hicieron. And so, you know what? The best thing I can do for my 3 girls is to bring her into the fold. And that's what she did. And so having that as an example, when my friend got divorced, she does Thanksgivings with her ex-husband and his girlfriend, and she's done it for years.
And that's such a beautiful thing.
And honestly, I wish we could have gotten there.
Yeah.
But it didn't turn out that way for me. You know, so my kids ended up having the 2 Christmases, the 2 birthdays, the 2 holidays and things like that. You know, but
a lot of egos need to be put to the side for that to happen. And that's, I think, where, and not just egos of, I think, boundaries, egos. And it's not just egos within you and your co-parenter, it's their partner.
Yeah,
partners.
Because the partner has to realize, number one,
there's a lot of insecurities, there's a lot of jealousy.
You are forever linked to this human, because you created life together.
To death do us part is very valid once you have children.
Once you have
children, death do you part.
are linked to this person. They were forever the mother of your children or the father of your children. Choose wisely.
PSA, PSA moment. Yes.
But so when you, even us now, when we start dating somebody, there's a lot of times where, you know, if they have littles, I'm like, that's tough. That's tough, because they're in a different part of their life. And you are, you know, you do become part of that dynamic. So not everybody can get there, because it's tough.
Egos.
It's tough to look and say, like, I know that you created life with my husband or my girlfriend, and I'm okay with that, and sharing, you know, Thanksgiving lunch. I would love nothing more than to have that dynamic. I have not been blessed with it yet. I do have amazing families from both sides. I have my ex's parents, amazing humans. My parents, amazing humans. They have been able to figure it out. Their common denominator is the kids, is my boys.
Yes.
Yep.
And they do anything for those boys.
Yeah. And I will say, like, with mainly on my ex-husband's father's side, they're amazing, because that is their mentality of, these girls are our family. You are their mother. Therefore, you are still family. So when I go out of state and, you know, I'm in Georgia and it's like, no, you're staying with us. If I were to go to their home country, you're staying with us. This is your home too, because you're always going to be family. And, it's unfortunate that the other parent doesn't see it that way.
Yeah.
And I realized, like, in the beginning, after we got separated and everything, we were able to text and talk and joke and, when it came to the girls. And I knew once he started dating who is now his current wife, because I saw the change.
Difference. Oh, the shift.
I saw the change in the tone of the text. The playfulness was gone. The banter was gone. And it just became very businesslike. And it was like, for me, it was like, that's not necessary. Like, I don't want you back. Like, I initiated
and that's
this.
Why can't you be just plugged? And that's what I don't understand. Like, why is it? I've stayed friends with all of my exes, like boyfriends and stuff. Like, I've never had that. Because I'm kind of like, I don't gain anything from having you as an enemy. I don't hate anybody.
Like, I'm not inviting you to Thanksgiving.
No,
but
if
I see you pumping gas, I'll be like, oh my God.
I'm going to say what's up to you. But I'm saying, no, we're not going to hang out. But I'm saying, like, it's always been an amicable thing. So one thing my ex-husband and I would always talk about was, if it ever didn't work out, we would still like to stay friends. And I think that's the one thing that does sting the most.
That you don't have that friendship.
Because we don't have that. And I feel like it is what it is. I feel like we don't have it because of other parties involved. Yeah. I don't think it has anything to do with our dynamic. I think that when we are parenting our children, we are phenomenal together. We've always been phenomenal together when it comes to parenting, because our goal is our kids. And it has nothing to do with any type of emotional bond between us.
Because you both want what's best for the kids.
120% about the kids. And I love that we've always been able to just like, shit's hitting the fan, like we can step back and just regroup when it has to do with the kids. And we've always been able to figure it out. And I think that's what for me has stung the most. So I did believe that. I did believe that. Like, you know what? Well, why not? Why can't we stay friends? And I've seen people who have amazing relationships with their ex-husbands and ex-wives, and they do vacations together. And I'm like, that would be so
both couples
amazing for the kids, because you don't like have that too.
You got to take the ego out. You got to take the jealousy. And it's hard. You got to know that, like, at the end of the day,
it's hard because I have to look up certain people in the face and be like, hi, nice to meet you. But who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
You do not mean more than my kids. And I'll do anything for those boys.
Now, there was a part of me that after initially was, how is it that you found happiness with that person, but you couldn't behave that way with me? But then again,
like what makes them different?
But then again, that was on the onset. But then I had my children telling me the dynamics that were going on in the home. And it was like, oh, okay, so things aren't really different. So it kind of like lessened the sting. But there was that part of me that it was, God, you were just so mean. Let's just say, like, you're such an asshole. Like, why do you get to move on and find your person so quickly? Why do you get to be happy when my life was hell? And it took a while for me to kind of say, you know what, I need time. And I remember I was, single for like a year before I went and was with my ex-partner for 7. But even then, I felt, in retrospect, thinking back, one of my truths is I was in no position to date. Even a year later, I was in no position to date. And I will say, like, after separation, divorce, like, my family was like, oh my God, pero you're not dating. Ay, pero ¿por qué tú estás sola? And it's like, I just left a 15-year marriage. I want to be like, now is when I am at that point where it's like, I just want to be alone.
Yeah.
Like, who am I now?
I had someone very close to me ask me not too long ago, so do you feel alone? And I'm like,
I'm my best company.
I was like, no, why? Oh, because you don't have a husband. And I looked at them and I said, well, I have 3 amazing kids that I spend a lot of time with, that I enjoy immensely. I have my family, and I have my group of friends. Just because somebody doesn't sleep at night in my bed with me, it doesn't mean I'm alone.
Yeah.
And I'm probably the most peaceful that I've been in a very long time. But there's that, oh my God, it's divorce. Oh my God, pobrecita. Like, what is she going to do? And it's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. What's funny is that, like, so I know it's going to be very shocking, but I'll be turning 50 soon. I know it's shocking. I don't look it. Pero, so my best friend, she turns 50 1st. I always like to point that out, that she turns 50 first. And we're planning a trip to DR for her birthday. And when I look at the list, it's all the couples, right? It's all the cousins, it's all the couples. And I'm like the only solterona. I think if I would have been in a different mindset, if this would have been like 10 years ago or 8 years ago, I would have been freaking out of like, oh my God, I'm going to be the only single person. I'm going to be third wheeling. And now I'm like, I can go to my room.
Please. I don't need to entertain nobody.
If I'm tired, I can go to my room. I don't got to darle cuenta a nadie.
You don't have any drunk husband.
I'm not going to have a drunk husband. I don't have to ask permission of, can I go here? No. I get to do what I want.
You do as you please.
Exactly. Whereas 38-year-old me would have been like, oh my God, this is going to be so weird.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like the only one without, no, now I'm like, querida piscina. Nope. No, I'm not.
I'm good. I'm going to take a nap.
Oh, we're going to go on an excursion. That's fantastic for
Great.
you. I'm going to go get a massage.
Take pictures.
I'm going to go get a massage. Like, so, these are, for me, these are gifts that have come from my divorce in that independence, the ability, and maybe also age, because let's face it, as you get older, your fucks have gotten so much less.
I'm sorry. I used to always tell my brother that I couldn't wait to get to my grandmother's age of 90 because my grandmother, she would say things that I'm like, abuela, she's like, yo soy vieja.
Exactly.
She's like, nobody's going to tell me anything.
Excuse.
Listen.
She could have stolen shit out of a store. Es una viejita, déjala.
We were in New York.
Please don't tell me that happened.
We were in New York. No, we were in New York, and it's Easter weekend, and it's Good Friday. We're on a trip. We're not even like paying attention. So we go to McDonald's, and I'm eating a burger, and it hits me that it's Good Friday, and I'm eating a burger, and my grandmother's sitting across from me, and I look like, abuela, it's Good Friday, and she goes, Ayeisha, don't worry about it. At my age, God forgives you. Just eat your burger. She goes, eat your burger and enjoy it.
You're gonna have forgiveness via abuela. Okay. You'll have forgiveness via abuela. There you go.
Like, I'm old. He'll forgive you. Don't worry about it. Just enjoy your burger. And I'm like, okay.
But no, I mean, seriously, like with age, there does come gifts of you just don't care.
Yeah.
You just don't care. And then having been divorced for so long and being on my own for so long, it has given me that independence and all that where it's like, dude, I've been paying my mortgage by myself for 10 years.
Yeah.
I don't need your opinion. I mean, it's wonderful, pero si me quieres regalar un galón de leche, then maybe I'll listen to you. But until you're contributing, pero it's un refrán. But like
eggs, I'll take the eggs.
Oh my God,
I'm lactose intolerant. Tequila?
I'll take Tito's?
No.
But for me, it's that thing of like, so unless you're gonna contribute to the dance expenses, just saying.
Which, if you're willing to,
PayPal, Zelle,
gonna say,
it's all good.
Put up the QR code,
right? QR. But unless you're like contributing, and even then, I might just be like, yeah, no,
I'm good.
I'd rather comerme un cable.
Mira, lo gratis sale caro.
Absolutely. Yeah. So for me, like a lot that I have gained post. I mean, I never would have thought I would be sitting here doing something like this. I mean,
because
I'm corporate. You guys know,
look at us. You found us and we're amazing.
I know. But
I
mean, I've been corporate America since I was 20 years old. So for
you
almost
are
30
so
years,
corporate.
I am.
So
I am
corporate.
So corporate.
But corporate Ayeisha.
I love corporate
and like
Ayeisha.
night Ayeisha or like
Completely.
Ayeisha in the wild.
Wait. Corporate Ayeisha and bingo Ayeisha.
Oh. That's the weekend at Bernie's.
We don't talk about bingo. We don't talk about bingo.
No one knows about bingo.
It was weekend at Bernie's. It was weekend at Bernie's. For those of you that are old enough to know that movie, it was weekend at Bernie's, and I was Bernie. But there was an excuse for that. Like there was an excuse for that. We just won't go into it.
No.
Did.
It's just all we're saying is it's two different Ayeishas.
It is, and it depends. Like again, one of those gifts is. Not everyone gets access to me.
Yeah.
I choose.
Bingo Ayeisha.
Bingo Ayeisha, I choose now, like, it's a boundary. Mm-hmm. How much of me am I willing to share with you?
Yeah.
So we all have nicknames. But for me, it's, you don't get to call me that unless you're in my circle. So when someone hears it and they just start calling me by my nickname, I'll be like, no. I'm Ayeisha. Like I'm not that.
Which I hate nicknames.
I know.
You hate nicknames?
Yes, because if your mother wanted people to call you Ish, she would have called you Ish.
I know.
She named you Ayeisha.
I know.
So therefore, people should call you Ayeisha.
And I'm sure I'm not the kind of Ayeisha you were expecting, but that's a whole different episode.
Oh, that's another episode.
It's okay because that's happened all my life. I walk into a room and they're like, "You're Ayeisha."
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. But and I know for you, being so fresh, because for you it was May when you initiated everything. You're still discovering what your gifts are. What are the positive things that you're gaining from ending the marriage and this new life you're creating?
I think what I'm gaining is being able to be the person that I know I can be. Amen. Because, like I said, my entire life, majority of my life, I was a competitive dancer, majority of my childhood. And then when I became an adult and I was dancing professionally, I was always acting or being what they hired me to be. Mm-hmm. So I was always a different person. I was always a character. So now that I'm not on stage dancing, doing all that stuff, I'm figuring out who I am without being everyone always goes, "Oh, Genise with the curly hair. Oh yeah, we know who she is," because they know me with curly hair. They know me as a dancer. Now I'm oh, I'm figuring out Genise, the mom,
the entrepreneur,
the Genise that's not married, the Genise that, it's a different Genise that I'm figuring out. So I think the positiveness of this whole situation is that I am figuring out me, which I never fully got to do that.
And I think, honest. And maybe it's generational. For me, it was, I'm a child of immigrants. I think we all are.
We all are. Mm-hmm.
My parents came here and it was hustle.
Yeah.
So my mom, I wasn't taught. I guess that's where I'm going with this. I wasn't taught. And my mom did the best she could with what she knew, with what she had, but I wasn't taught that, so that was something, even like I said before, even being single for a year after my divorce, that still wasn't enough time.
Yeah.
And so after my partnership ended April of last year, that is really when I started digging in who am I now that I basically have adult children.
Yeah.
I am alone per se. I am this solo independent person. And what are my likes? I rode Harleys for years with my ex-husband. I didn't really enjoy it. That was his hobby.
Yeah.
There were things that we did that weren't mine, so now it's who am I? And these are the things that I like. So that's something that, again, going back to those gifts of this is who I am as a person. Who are you as a person? And then who are we as a couple?
Yeah.
Because getting married so young, it was all about who are we as a couple? What do we want to portray? And then once the kids come into play, forget it. It's all about the kids.
Yeah.
And so, it's that same journey that you're on, that's what I started.
Yeah.
And
I'm learning the boundaries and and what makes me happy. And, it's a scary thing because a lot of people tend to, and I will gladly speak about it because it's an unfortunate thing that I grew up with. And you guys have experienced it, but the drinking, a lot of people rely on going to that. And that's something that now, people drink to heal. People drink to numb.
Yep.
People drink to, erase whatever it is that they're going through. But it's at the end of the day, it's not going to fix it.
No, it's still there.
And that's, I'm going through that because for a long time I was using alcohol to just numb the pain. And that was in my marriage. In my marriage, I was drinking to numb the pain. I was going to work, dancing on stage. And I felt like I was getting this praise when I'm on stage doing all these things. But then I go home and I'm like, my relationship is damaged and I'm just going to drink to forget about it, but it never fixed anything.
Right.
So now that I am not drinking, seeing clearly, I feel like I now can focus on me and what I like to do, what makes me happy. And it's a long journey ahead. But, like we said in episode 1, if you do not have, I'm speaking to you guys, if you do not have the support system that you need, whether it's friends, whether it's family, I just met them not that long ago, and
there's probably people who are going through the same thing. You just don't know it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
You are not alone. You are not alone. And I promise you, like, I think I talked to these two. I think
day,
the moment we wake up, literally, and then we're like, conference call, 8 a.m. Okay, conference call. Like, that is my support team. And crazy enough, I have moms and sisters, but I also feel like they've heard so much of it that they're kind of tired of hearing it.
But I would also say
it's a different kind of support.
It's a different kind of support, but also something that I recognized is, you know, I love my mother dearly. Mm-hmm. However, she is where she's at. My boundaries are not her boundaries. Mm-hmm. And so I always kind of describe it as, I'm speaking French. My mother doesn't speak French. Mm-hmm. So when I am having these boundaries or when I am stating like my hard lines, it's like she's hearing me speak French and she has no idea. No lo entiende. Like, why are you being like that?
I mean, it's also generational.
It is generational.
That it is
Absolutely.
generational. It is generational.
Absolutely.
I think that it does have a lot to do with the generational gap.
Absolutely, which is why, you know, I accept her as she is. I accept her where she's at. And it is what it is. But that's also one of the challenges of, ay, tú has cambiado. And I think to myself, thank God. Thank God I am not the same person I was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm not the same person I was a year ago.
Yeah.
And those are, for
we are
me,
always
those
evolving.
are gifts.
We're always discovering different sides of ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's
so
like,
if you knew me 10 years ago, good.
That's
a good thing.
Thank you. That was the goal.
Let me reintroduce myself, you know? Let me reintroduce myself.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that has been a challenge, you know, in the dynamics with friends and family. And thankfully, you know, I have my core, you know, my pillars that they've been there, you know, for decades, you know, similar to you with your girl, you know, it's been decades.
We have things that we don't necessarily understand because we're in different situations in life.
Yeah.
But I know that at the drop of a dime, I mean, she's there without a doubt.
Let's actually go into that topic of like new friendships and stuff. I know we talked about it in episode 1, but it's like when I got married and had kids, like I wasn't able to go out and about to the clubs with my old friends that weren't married with kids. Yeah. So it's like finding those new friendships,
especially
you know,
when
and
you
having
get so young.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We were in our 20s when we had kids. Those clubbing days, we were clubbing in the nursery.
What? I mean, I clubbed when I was younger, but we'll talk about that.
That's not today, guys. That's not today.
Another episode. But even now, like, look, for example, like yesterday, you went to the pumpkin patch. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I'll go with you because my kids don't do that shit anymore. So now I'm like, I kind of miss it. I'll tag along for a little bit. I'll do the corn maze with you. Why not?
Which was so much fun, by the way.
We got so lost at one point and it was nighttime and I'm like,
it was nighttime and my 4 and 2-year-old were doing it with
the
us.
4-year-old was the one leading the way and she kept on turning and I was like, I told him like, Genise, tell her to go towards the light.
Go towards the light.
I'm like, we're going in circles. We're going in circles.
I've seen this tree before. I know.
It's like, thing 1 and thing 2, follow the light. Just follow the light.
My 4-year-old was leading the way.
So yeah, I mean, but that's a lot of that has to do with it. And I think that because I do have kids, I remember being young and not having somebody who had kids who wanted to, and I was like, well, I guess I'll do it by myself then, you know? Yeah. And it's hard.
It is hard.
It's hard schlepping those kids around places. Yeah. Those kids are bad.
These kids are those babies' kids.
I don't think anyone beats my gremlins, okay?
I will definitely be showing my age in like movie references because like Bebe's Kids is like from what, the 90s or some shit like that. Yeah,
but that movie was great.
Oh my God, it was.
Yeah, I don't know what movie they're talking
about. It would not make it today, but
Genise is like, I don't know.
We'll get into the thing. All things Genise is not aware of, but it's
okay. We can make it should be.
It'll be its own episode. Can we do like a quiz show?
No, and then it will be Genise loses her Cuban card.
There you go. That'll be
I'm literally working on getting my Cuban card back, you guys. These women have taken it away.
And she's like getting it back. It's like,
no, take it back. We gotta. But you have mentioned something about kind of learning and discovering and things like that. And one of the things that for me it was fake it till you make it.
Oh.
All the fake time. It till you make it.
All the time.
I'm the queen of that.
But you were saying
it's like you'll never know I'm sad.
I tell her, I'm like, I cry in the shower. Don't worry about it. Nobody goes there.
I know. I think when I texted you the other day, I was like, girl, I literally just had a breakdown. You were like,
okay,
that's okay.
I'm like, yeah,
go do it again.
Healing is not linear. It's
I told her, go do it again until you're done.
It's okay
Get it out.
to not be okay.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely okay.
And you had mentioned like to become the Genise that you had wanted to be.
Yeah.
And also having girls, it was also, for me, it's showing my kids being the woman that I would want them to look up to. You know, like what I have shown my daughters is you don't have to be married to carry your own home. You don't need, whether it's a man or a woman in your life, you don't need someone to meet you can do it on your own. There's other things that can be brought into that partnership. And I think having gotten married so young, it was that, you know, having to build and, you know, what do you bring to the table? And it was more of the tangible physical things, losing sight of all of the emotional things that at least I speak for myself, I wasn't taught. And I certainly did not see it in our household because, again, I just married a version of my father.
Yeah.
So, you know, that was something for me that has been a gift in that I have been able to show that to my children. Yeah. You know, like, you know, mom is strong. Mom's got this. You don't got to worry about it. Mom's got this. Always.
We always figure it out.
Well, and I think that's my biggest thing.
I'll figure it out.
Figure it out. So I think that's another thing. Like, it's just kind of, for me, being a mother. And I think being a parent, ultimately. I say mom because I'm a mom.
Right.
But I think as a parent, your goal should be just be someone that you want, like that your kid can look up to.
Absolutely.
That when they think about, you know, when they're an adult, they can be like, I want to be like my dad. I want to be like my mom. I remember they did things this way and I want to continue that. And I think that's what I had growing up. And that's why I'm so like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm going to be fine because I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah.
But the only 3 people in this world that I care what they think of me are the ones that I made.
Amen.
Like, that's it. They're, as long as I'm good to them.
Yep.
And that is also
irrelevant.
Unfortunate thing that I am learning because of the career that I had. It's always been, what do they think? Did I book the job? Did I do this? Was I pretty enough? Was I skinny enough? Was my hair tall enough? Well, it's always been trying to impress to book the job. And I think that has carried on to my personal life where I am always worried about what people think, what people say, this and that. And it sucks.
FTP.
It really sucks. And I'm being truthful because I know that a lot of people
the acronym.
I know. We'll get into the FTP.
I think it's big because a lot of people care too much what people think.
Absolutely.
And that has to do a lot with social media too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Social media is a devil.
Yeah. Social media has destroyed that of like people really not giving. But I feel like I'm slowly getting there, you know?
And I think another, you know, we'll go back to the title, is, you know, the gifts is, you ask my children now, who's number one for me? And they will tell you, Mom. I have taught my children, I come first. And man, people will come after you for that. Like, you're the freaking witch of Salem. But I have to put myself first. Yeah. Because if my cup is not full, I have nothing to give my children. Girl. I have nothing to give to anyone else. And I'll never forget, there is like a video clip of Iyanla Van Zandt. She's, you know, a therapist. If you're not familiar with her, she was free therapy when I couldn't afford it. And she said once something to the effect of, what is in the cup is for me, and what runneth over is for everyone else.
Love that.
And I have carried that with me for years.
I love that.
Because for so long, because that is what I saw my mother do, I was drained. Again, I was the Girl Scout leader. I was a PTA president. It was like I was the one running around doing everything. Yeah. And it took me a long time to learn that I have to put myself first. Because if I am not at 100, my kids are going to have a shitty mom. I'm not going to show up right.
It's so crazy because I literally said that time and time, like, I need to focus on me. I need to be selfish and make myself better so I can be better for you and better for the kids. And I was always called selfish about that.
So one thing we've started as a group is
Self-care Sundays.
Self-care Sundays, we usually FaceTime each other, and we're doing just, whether it's we're doing our nails, we're doing a facial,
we're going to brunch,
we're doing
Genise with her tennis thingies.
Yes, with her little tennis things.
Okay, you guys, let me explain what these tennis thingies are, okay? If you do skincare, you have your little headpiece.
Which I do.
Way, you know, your hair doesn't get. But I also have bracelets because, okay, tell me, please write it in the comments below. When you are washing your face, when the water drips down, please tell me that is not annoying. So yes, I have these little wristbands.
Like, it reminds me to go play tennis. It reminds me of Olivia Newton-John. Let's get physical.
Do you know that song?
Do you know that?
I do.
Thank you. Something generational that she can like.
But yeah, like, so it's just. Yeah. You have to take at least one day, even if it's just a 10-minute, 20-minute. Like, I think to me, our morning conference calls.
That's
our
to me, it's like therapy.
It's our little therapy session when we just vent about everything. And
or if something happened the night before.
Everything. I mean, everything. I mean,
so for you men out there, if you think women don't talk about everything, we talk about
everything.
De todo.
Everything.
De todo.
Good, bad, and ugly.
Especially ugly.
And but that'll be another topic.
But you have to take that time. Like, you guys know how I am with the gym. 6:15 p.m. Monday through Friday, I am at the gym.
Thanks to this girl, I found myself a trainer that.
Oh, I love me some CJ.
He's pretty bomb. That's something that I finally. Luckily, I never had to go to the gym because I was a dancer. That was my workout. Now I'm having to go to the gym, and I think it's finally like something I enjoy.
It's therapy.
It's something that I've done. It's for me.
Yep.
It's for me. So that's something that I'm now put in my pillar. Like, this is something Genise likes doing. This is my thing. This is what's going to help me heal. This is what da-da-da-da-da.
For me, it's in my calendar. It's in my Google Calendar that I live and breathe by.
What color is it?
It's blue for me because dance is lavender.
Oh.
That's lavender for the dancer.
Okay.
But it's in my Google Calendar.
Yep.
And unless I'm traveling for work or, like today, I wasn't able
here.
to go. Right? I wasn't able to go today. But it's my me time. And if a business meeting is important, can't be missed, I am the most important appointment of the day.
Yeah.
And so I prioritize it. And so it's like, oh, you want to meet up or whatever? Cool. My workout ends at about 7:15. I will shower at the gym and then I'll meet up with you.
Yep.
You want to do girls' night? I will take a shower at the gym and Wednesday girls' night. And so I will go ahead and, do that. But it's after my gym time. Girls' night. That's a different
You guys
episode.
will never, ever understand
how important Wednesday girls' night is.
Wednesday
it's
girls'
very
night.
important.
It's Wednesday girls' night. It's
it really
very
is.
Important. But, I know we digressed. Look at that. So simple. But definitely I know we've all have gotten a lot of gifts. You're still gaining yours.
Yeah, I'm still figuring mine out.
Still gaining yours. And, even though you've been, a year and a half?
I feel like it's been an eternity, to be honest with you. I do. I feel like, and it's not a bad thing. I just feel like I don't remember being married.
Ooh.
Wow. That might be a whole different episode.
That's kind of hard.
Ooh, that would hurt.
It's not that I don't remember. Like, I don't miss it.
Yeah.
And because I don't miss it, I'm like.
But is that that's not a bad thing.
No,
though.
no. It's an amazing thing.
Like you said,
it's an amazing thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not
peaceful.
It's a double-edged sword, right? Because I don't want to go ahead and talk shit, but I don't. And my marriage ended before it ended.
Oh, I think all of ours did.
That's why I say, like, it feels like it was longer than 2 years. I think it was just officially, a year and a half. But even though I think about it and I'm like, oh no, that happened. And I'm like, oh no, shit, that was just 2024. That wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
In the beginning, and this will kind of segue to what, we'll talk about in the next episode. Yeah. The hard part for me were the holidays.
Oh yeah.
That was for me the holidays because my kids were older, right? They were 12 and 7. So we already had established traditions.
Yeah.
There was, my youngest was born on January 1st. So for her, it was like, we go to the family house, we say Happy New Year.
And then we sing Happy Birthday.
We sing Happy Birthday. So when that split happened, it was like, but wait, they don't do that over there.
Yeah.
So it was finding a new normal for that, which I know we'll get into.
Yeah.
Next episode.
The next time.
Very excited for you guys. Make sure you tune into our next episode, which we are going to talk about the holidays and how
the new normals
with the holidays, splitting holidays, birthdays, all that stuff. So we're very excited.
2/3 of us are very much into holidays and one of us is not.
You
Who
figure
is
it
it?
out.
Figure it out.
You will figure it out next episode. You can take guesses in the comments below and figure out who do you think. I promise. We're not giving it out already. If you could see our I just noticed that. We're not giving it away. You can see who it is. Tune in and
Thanks for joining
Thank
La
you
Primas.
for joining La Primas.
Thanks for hanging out with us. If you've been through something similar, hit our DMs. We love hearing your stories.
If there's a topic you want us to dive into, don't be shy. We promise to keep it 100% real and unfiltered.
Follow, subscribe, and share with your favorite primas.
Pero not really.